Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today we are going to cover promises in JavaScript, which is very important in JavaScript. I've seen a lot of people was struggling with the promise. So uh, without further doing a much delay, let's get started on promise. So in order to understand promises, I would like to go through first of all with the async function so that you can get to know the what is promise, and then we can go ahead with a much further steps. So don't be confused by seeing this diagram hole here. Don't go I'll go with each and every stage what is going to be, and then after I'll explain in detail what the promises are and how we can leverage this beauty in JavaScript. Right. So in order to understand promises, I'll go through the first traditional ways of requesting any of the data with the server, and then after the server will return back to us. So in order to understand async, I'll go with the async term, right? So let me just grab a pen. It's fine for me. Yeah. So right, async thing, right? Async, right? So what is async? So async is basically the set of tasks that is going to be performed in any of the order. Async, in order to understand async, I would say sync and async. Sync is basically synchronization, and async is asynchronization, right? Synchronization means like the set of steps to be followed by one after another, right? So let's say I've been given three tasks. I'm doing one by one. This is called synchronous of that task, right? I'm performing one by one in a sequential way, basically. And in async, I can perform any of the tasks, and but I don't know like how long will it take. So I'm not dependent on any other task. So basically, I'm performing in any of the other orders, right? So these are basically async. I'm not in sync basically. I can do this task first, this second, and then first. If I do, I can do this thing and this second and third. So any of the thing that is not going to be in sequential way, this is going to be set as async, or you would say like in parallel, just for understanding. It is not actually as a parallel, but I'll explain in much better. But for now, you can understand it as a parallel task that we are going to do, and the sync activities are the sequential activities, right? So this is basically what the async and sync are. So let's just understand the HTTP request and response model so that we can go ahead and understand the promises. How these are correlated with each other, that is I'm going to tell. So let's say this is a client and this is a server, and I'm requesting some data from the server, and server is going to server is going to process some data, like let's say it has a DB, or it is going to fetch the DB, and then after it will return that data, and the server will return that data to client. So this is called request and this is called response, right? In an HTTP protocol, right? So you got an idea, this is a client and this is a server. Client is basically the your browser, right? And the server is basically the machine behind any of the logic, or behind the internet, I would say, or like it is somewhere placed, and so that you can access those services and get the data, or you can fetch all those things that you want. So this is a traditional way. Let me just rub it out quickly. And so this is an basically the traditional way of doing this. So in order to understand the async and the promises, the async are the things that we are going to dealing with in whole the video. So let me just write it down. Async. So async is the activity which is going to be done, but we don't know how long will it is going to take. For an example, if we were making a request to the server, and server was not knowing that how long will it take. So this is basically I don't know like how long the activity is going to take, and that task I need to perform. So for that I need to wait for some time. For an example, I need to go to the market and I need to find, like I need to buy something, and for that I need to go to the market. And how, like at like before going to the market, even I don't know how long will it take. As an assumption, I would say like it will take 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So async activity, any of the activity that is that we don't know like how long will it take, and the activity set of activities that is going to be done in any of the order, like it does not have any order. So unordered, basically unordered, right? Unordered, and we don't know like the timelines. We don't know. Fine. So async activities are the activities that is going to be done uh, like in as I explained you. So let's just come to the promise. Now what the promises is, right? Uh, promise is, so promise is basically the handler of the async activities, right? So to handle any kind of async activities, for an example, just consider that model. Let me just draw it again. To consider that model, I've made the request, right? But I don't know how long will it going like how long will it take to process that request. This is where the promises comes in. The promises says that like I am going to make a request with the server, and I'll get you the data, right? If I get the data, I'll return you the data. If I don't get the data, I'll return you the error what the server said. So for an example, if the data is not found, if the server is busy somewhere, or server is not up and running, so these kind of things are going to be happen. So we don't know, like, so promises any of the async activity. It is not just related to the client and server. It is related to the network activities, file activities, any of the async operations, right? So any of the async operation, we are going to use the promises. So promises are basically the of handlers of async tasks, right? Got it? So now promises has their own states. States means you can say, like I was telling you, that each and everything has to be done in steps wise, like you have to done one step, second step, and so on, right? So in promises we have a states. Three states we have: pending first, second one is fulfill, and third one is reject. Or I would say fulfill means resolve also, right? Resolving the data. So pending state, let me just go by one. Pending state is basically the state where the promises has not been triggered. Like, so this is like where we have not made a request to the server. This is in pending state. So we haven't fired any request. Somebody like some of them are saying pending is the different one. Let me just come up to that point later on. So let's just see, we made a request to the server, and now we are waiting for a request. So in this thing, like we are in a pending state, right? We have made the request, but right now we are in a pending state. We are waiting for something to be resolved or to be rejected. So resolve is basically when server has like when we have made the request and server has responded that request. So with the data that we have requested with the server. So if we got the data, then this is going to be resolved. Otherwise, it is going to be rejected by the server that, hey, I didn't find the data. So this is kind of request comes in reject. So promises works on resolve and reject method, right? So these are the two things. These are the three things that is going to be uh, that is going to be done each and every time whenever you create a promise. So let's just go ahead with the, so this is the first activity, right? Second, third, or I would say second or third, any of the activity, right? Third. So let's just move on to the another stages where the settled and other things comes in. So promises, like basically when you get the data in your browser or in the client machine, what you can do is like you have to handle that data inside your code. So the then method is basically the handler of that fulfillment of that data. So let's say we got the data in the fulfillment, and fulfillment is basically a callback function here. Fulfillment is a callback function, so we have to pass that full callback function that is going to be called when we get the data. So then method is being called when we got the data, right? And the catch method and dot error method also, like most of them were have seen error method also. So error and catch, there's a little difference here. I'll explain you later. But for now, consider this: catch and error are going to be called when the data is rejected, when the request is rejected by the server, right? So this is what we got, right? Till now, we are fine, right? We have to provide a fulfillment function either or the rejection function. So I just missed out one thing, that you in a then method you have to provide a two callback things. So then method have fulfillment comma error and fulfillment callback. So f is basically the fulfillment callback function, e is the error callback function. We are going to see later, right? So then method has to here. So and the second thing is like when we got the data and when we like in both the situations, like when the data is being rejected or request has been rejected, so error handler will be called. The error handler is basically this error handler, eh. This is the error handler that we have passed to it, and that will be called once it is rejected, right? So now let's go ahead, and the async action will be performed when we got the data, right? So now we'll go to the next step, which is pending. So it returns something. What it returns, like when we call the then method and the then method and then catch, it returns a new promise, right? It again returns a promise basically. So whenever we call this function and we call this function, it returns a promise method, which can be again chainable, which can we can do chainable. Chainable means like let me just write it. Chainable means one function after another function after another function after another function. What is just to understand, I'll give you more brief idea about it, but understand this in this way. Let's say we have a one method, it has done something, and after that I need to do something else. So I can write one more then, and after that also I can write one more then. This is how can write so many functions. It does not have any limitation to write any then function. Similarly, it for catch functions also, like we can write catch function and then after dot catch function, and these are the things, like sequential of these functions are called chainable functions or chainable promises, because this promise is going to return, like this promise is going to return a promise right here, and this promise is again going to return a then dot catch method. So this is the whole idea about the promise, and promises are basically in a simpler term, I would say promises works on two main stages, basically the rejection and the resolution of an a request. So when it get the data, it will call that function when whatever you have written, so that it can fulfill that data inside your code, right? If it rejected that, like if the server has rejected some data, it will throw an error saying that, hey, I got an error from the server, that the server is saying that internal server error or something like this, network issues, these kind of scenario can happen. So I guess you get an idea about promises, what the promises are. In my next video, I'm going to tell how we can implement the promise in a JavaScript world, right? So these are the things that like if anybody didn't get understand, let me know. I'll make a separate video in Hindi also, so that you can get an idea. So just to be clear on side, like just to be on summarize these things, async activities are going to be performed or are going to be handled by the promises. So promise is basically a JavaScript class or object which is going to handle an async activity, right? So that's it, guys. If you liked my videos, if you gain some any of the information from this video, then please do like and subscribe. In my next video, you'll see the code piece of like code implementation of the promise. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.